6:49, this is your morning in 8 minutes. Right now, fire crews are on the scene of a house fire on Cedar Lane near Pratt Road in North Knoxville. If you use Cedar Lane, heads up, the road is partially closed right now. We do want to get right to Whitney Turner to see how this is affecting traffic.
No major backups in that area right now, but if you are traveling this way, you're going to want to avoid this part of Cedar Lane right by I-75. You can use Dry Gap Pike, Central Avenue Pike, and Inskip Road to get around this incident. The good news is that's the only thing really impacting your Thursday morning commute as you're getting out the door. All those interstates and main roads are looking good and on time. But if you are traveling south through Campbell County this morning, heads up that road work to make repairs following April's rock slide near Rarity Mountain. That continues today starting around 8 a.m. You can expect some southbound lane closures. So if you're traveling in from southeastern Kentucky into Jellicoe, that's where you're going to see that lane closure headed toward Rarity Mountain. You can expect some delays there.
Whitney, thank you. One person is dead, another in critical condition this morning after a shooting on Middle Tennessee State University's campus in Murfreesboro.
This happened last night after a graduation ceremony for a Middle Tennessee high school. Riverdale High School was using the campus for their graduation when the shots were fired around 7 o'clock. Police have not named any suspects. No word yet on if either of the victims were a student. Riverdale High School is closed today.
A man is dead. Police say a homeowner shot him while he was trying to break into a home in Lenoir City. It happened on West 2nd Avenue. Police say 20-year-old Michael Owen died on the scene. Witnesses say he was acting erratic and possibly under the influence. Investigators now working to figure out what happened. And 23 years later, we now know the name of a woman killed in Campbell County.
New technology helped the Knox County Regional Forensics Center identify her. Police found her body in October of 1998 in Campbell County. She was shot and stabbed. Her death ruled a homicide, but they were never able to identify her until now. Investigators say she is Lori Alexander, a missing woman from Ohio. With updated technology, they matched her DNA. They contacted the sheriff's office in Toledo, who told the family her remains are now being taken back to her hometown.
Right now, a Knoxville police officer who was once named Officer of the Month is off the job and under investigation. Charles Roach is now facing domestic assault charges. He's on administrative leave and his police powers are suspended while Internal Affairs investigates. Roach has been with the department since 2014.
Well, first property taxes, now your water bill is going up. Knoxville Utility Board will vote today on a budget plan that will raise your monthly bill.
The budget covers more than $1 billion. The proposed budget would increase water rates by 5% and wastewater rates by 4%. An electric service rate increase of 3% has already been approved. The spending plan also includes over $13 million in infrastructure improvements for the new multi-use stadium in downtown Knoxville. Today's meeting starts at 2 o'clock at the historic Millers Building on South Gay Street.
Well, Family Dollar plans to close its distribution center in West Memphis. This comes months after an FDA investigation showed unsanitary conditions, including thousands of rodents and contaminated food. The discovery caused hundreds of stores in 6 states, including Tennessee, to close for weeks. There are no plans as of now to close any of the individual stores. The center will stay open until the end of June.
Continuing coverage this morning, the White House is taking new action to address the nationwide baby formula shortage.
President Joe Biden is invoking the Defense Production Act to speed up production of infant formula. The move requires suppliers to get ingredients to formula makers before they fill other orders. The White House will also use commercial aircraft to fly in formula from overseas. The FDA reached a deal with Abbott Nutrition to reopen their facility in Michigan, though it could be months before we see that impact. Latest data shows Tennessee is the hardest hit state of the shortage. Happening today, President Biden will host the leaders of Finland and Sweden at the White House. Both countries officially submitted their applications to join NATO this week. In a statement, the president declared his support and vowed to work with Congress and allies to quickly get their NATO applications approved. Also today, the U.S. Senate will likely vote on the nearly $40 billion Ukraine aid package. It passed the House overwhelmingly last week, but Republican Rand Paul has been holding it up for Senate approval. The package includes support for the country's military and economy and money to help the U.S. restock military equipment that's been given to help Ukraine fight the war.
Well, the farmer bro is out of jail. Martin Shkreli released from a Pennsylvania prison on Wednesday and moved into a halfway house. The former executive served about 5 years of his 7-year sentence. He was convicted in 2017 for securities fraud, but is best known for jacking up the price of a life-saving drug.
Covering your health today, a panel of CDC advisors will meet to discuss and vote on an FDA-approved booster dose COVID vaccine for kids ages 5 to 11. Children in that age group can get a booster shot at least 5 months after they've received their first 2 doses. Once the CDC gives the green light, shots could start tomorrow. If you need a checkup at the doctor, you can get one for free this weekend. Remote Area Medical is coming to Jellicoe. You don't need an ID. It's first come, first serve. The patient parking lot will open no later than 11:59 Friday night. Clinic doors open at 6 Saturday morning. Face masks are required. You must undergo a COVID-19 screening before entering the clinic. We've got all this information in the WVLT News app.
WVLT proud to be your official station of the Vols. The top-ranked Tennessee baseball team on the road tonight in Starkville to take on the Mississippi State Bulldogs. This is the final series of the season before the SEC tournament starts next Tuesday. First pitch tonight at 7 o'clock. You can catch all the action on the SEC network. And this morning, one of golf's biggest tournaments gets underway. It's the PGA Championship from Southern Hills Country Club in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tee times start at 8 o'clock this morning. Coverage is on ESPN today, and tomorrow at 2 o'clock is when that starts before things pick up right here on WVLT for the weekend.
Your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Heather Haley.
6:55 now. Again, we've been talking about some spotty rain and storms for East Tennessee today. Scattered storms again this evening along the Tennessee-Kentucky line. So even just pausing it here on that rain forecast, you can see where I'm talking about a couple of downpours bubble up south. But zooming in, I do think we're going to get an isolated streak of even 1/4 of an inch. That's where you see that bright green streak in part of Monroe County. Couple of downpours trying to clip parts of Meigs, Ray, Bledsoe, Roan to Loudon, Knox to Blunt. But most of East Tennessee stays dry. All right, now you get this cluster of storms that clip southeastern Kentucky, and you can get some good downpours adding up in spots at that Tennessee-Kentucky line to Virginia as well. So again, the best we can do is a brief 40% coverage this evening, and we're still making it to 90 in the valley since only a couple of folks can get a cool down. That's just below the record high. Tomorrow, I think we've got a better shot at breaking it. Number one, the humidity drops and the sun is out. That's all we need. That humidity, basically, it's taking that weight off and that temperature flies. So I think we hit 94 tomorrow. We're still 90 on Saturday as the humidity goes back up and we get back to spotty pop-ups. So for now, quieting down for your morning. That's good. Some scattered passing clouds, got a little bit of humidity adding up to some fog in southeastern Kentucky. Temperatures are warm in those 60s to low 70s. And your planner today, again, spotty rain and storms for most, scattered this evening. If you missed that timeline, I've got you covered coming up on the CW, especially if you're looking ahead to the weekend when that cold front finally brings rain for more of us.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ready to start breaking heat records yet. It's still May.
I'm not ready either.
It's East Tennessee,
just
though.
the messenger.
All right, Heather, thanks so much for watching. We're headed on over to WVXX.
Have a good Thursday.